Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get risque every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Here we go. It is Tuesday, the KVJ After the Show podcast. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Kevin.
Good to see you guys.
How's it going, Virginia?
It's going good. Why are we talking like this?
Oh, Kevin starts it off and I just follow suit. It's fun.
With it, huh? Okay. Well, here we are. Happy Tuesday. Get to some of your emails coming up here in just a bit. Thank you for sending those in. Mail at kvjshow.com. A couple crazy things that I saw at country star Morgan Wallin. He's still got the #1 album in the country. I think the 4th week in a row.
I think they said his sales quadrupled.
Yeah, his sales went up, and it's kind of interesting to see because he's from Knoxville, Tennessee, and I saw there is a country station there. They kind of jumped on the quick response like so many other people across the country after he dropped an M-word on video. Everybody was yanking his music, his a record label, I think his management team. There's a whole bunch of stuff that they were...
A lot of people dropped him.
Yeah, and I wondered if that was a permanent thing or if it was just, the initial, okay, let's just back away from this toxic dude who dropped the N-word as fast as we can. And would people pick him back up? And if so, how fast? Because clearly when you're getting that many streams and downloads and sales and all that kind of stuff, you're a gold mine.
He's not canceled.
No.
Dude, we talked about, when we were having the meeting at your
Yeah.
place, we knew he was going to be in some trouble, but we knew he wasn't going to be completely canceled.
His sister had gone on, and his family and all that stuff were saying this cancel culture stuff is BS and blah, 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 and they're not a big fan of it. And already there's a radio station that plays country music in Knoxville, and they're doing a poll with their audience as to whether or not they should bring his music back already. And so,
If they're already doing that, then you're going to see him.
yeah, the people who are defending are saying, yeah, you can't use, it was a white guy, you can't use the N-word, but it wasn't like he was yelling it at somebody, saying it in a negative way. He was using it as somebody who might be black, drop the N-word with their friends. Not something a white guy can walk around doing, but it wasn't like he was using it in a way where he was up in somebody's face.
You're in trouble, but you're not canceled, kind of a thing, is what...
Yeah,
That's what
I think
I'm
they're trying to
gathering.
soften the edges of it to say, yes, there's, when you say the N-word, there's, I guess, even like a sliding scale of how bad it can be.
Okay.
Not saying it's good, but just saying that, there are ways you can use that as a more serious weapon.
Well, he can apologize again, just like he did to Saturday Night Live.
Well, it'll be interesting because people are saying that his apology is kind of losing a little bit of its power because he is he's the quick to apologize guy. He's apologized a lot, and they were kind of like rounding down all the things he's gotten in trouble for. Like he got kicked out of Kid Rock's bar in Nashville for a drunken disorder. He's acting like an a-hole.
He sounds like he can't handle his liquor,
he
man.
apologized for that. Yeah, that's kind of what they're saying. They're saying that he is just a dude that needs to lay off of the binge drinking.
It's not like when you're coming up and playing gigs and stuff. You're now a star.
Yeah.
You can't get fucked up like you used to.
Right.
If you do, you got to do it, you got to do it at your house.
He's got to get used to that, to say you just can't go out and everybody's watching you clearly and they're recording you and you can't be a jackass about it.
Yes.
Yes.
As much as you want to be a jackass, it's fun.
Yes.
You got to just keep it under wraps.
Well, you just got to, not have scandals happen every time you get hammered.
Yeah. It's true. It's a good point.
Because everybody's watching.
Mm-hmm. Nobody really picked up much on this commentary from Pitbull, but he was kind of jumping out about America turning into a communist nation.
Oh, Pitbull.
Now, like I said, I was surprised there wasn't any kind of backlash or anything said about that. And the one thing that you may have noticed is in South Florida, especially like the Cuban community, they were really surprised with the presidential election, how much of South Florida voted for Trump and went Republican. And I have talked to a couple of people from South America where their countries had gone communism. And they were very much like, yeah, it's terrible. You don't realize how it is. And so they had a fear. I don't know if it was warranted or not, but Pitbull is warning against communism. And I guess he feels that maybe it's warranted enough that he's throwing out his thoughts on it. Didn't realize this, but his grandmother initially fought in the Cuban Revolutionary War on the side of Castro. But then once he took power, she realized that she made a grave mistake. And in the early 60s, there were rumors swirling in Cuba that Castro was going to round up children and place them in communist indoctrination centers. And so his grandmother sent her 2 daughters to the U.S. during Operation Peter Pan, which was a covert program that brought 14,000 Cuban children to the U.S. between 1960 to 1962 at the height of the Cold War. And Pitbull's mother and aunt were taken to Florida, where Pitbull's father would also land after fleeing Fidel Castro. And he was talking in this recent interview about the dangers of communism and even talked about big tech censorship and likened it to communism. He said, if anybody's not part of the narrative, we're going to take it off of online, which to me smells like communism. And I think he was talking about some of the shutdowns as well that they were doing with coronavirus. And
Gotcha.
that he said, Castro would have loved to have had a pandemic to be able to initiate all of his policies that he wanted to do. So he had said that, but it doesn't sound like there's anybody blowing any breeze by Pitbull. Maybe just nobody's paying attention to Pitbull anymore.
I mean,
Has Pitbull jumped the shark?
I feel like ever since he came out with his cologne, I don't know. They were selling it in bells. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah. I was wondering, I mean, if he were at the top of the charts like Morgan Wallen, would people have let the comments go and there wouldn't have been any kind of heat? I'm sure there's a lot of people that just, they do agree with him. But it is kind of interesting. Somebody texted in and said, Dan Levitar has good commentary on this, especially because his parents came from Cuba. Interesting how they think Democrats want the country to be a socialist country. Yeah, I think Dan Levitar leans, and he is from Cuban nationality as well. His dad came over, but I think he leans a lot more left. And then obviously it sounds like Pitbull leans a lot more right. So talk about celebrity boxing matches, Pitbull versus Dan Levitar.
It's funny because you don't usually see entertainers who are more, and I don't know if Pitbull is on the right or not. But
I don't know either. His comments made it sound like it was, but yeah, that's where I was just kind of wondering, if you really get into the heart of Miami, where are people on both sides of it, like other places, or are they leaning very hard right? Because of that.
I mean, I can't really speak on any of the political stuff. I will say I had a sample of Pitbull's cologne. I wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
You don't want to smell him, and you don't want to smell like that.
I didn't like the smell. I again, kind of like my whole theory with celebrity liquors. I'm not
Did it
impressed.
smell like communism?
It smelled like it's belonged in Bells. Bells, when nothing else is around.
Bells. We have the real crappy stuff.
I always end up in a Bells buying some shitty-ass shirt that kind of fits. They're not a sponsor, right?
Not anymore. Here's the Bells account.
Mm-hmm. I did see this when things might start getting back to normal. I was talking about the oddities of the numbers that I was looking at. And
yes.
Those vaccine numbers are like, I don't know. I still don't understand what the hell is going on with that.
I'm so glad you pointed that out, though, because I, too, have been watching that. And I've just been watching and noticing, okay, because first it was like, only 2% of the population in Florida has been vaccinated. And then it went up to 6%. And I was like, okay, 6%, that's good. Let's get into double digits. Mm-hmm. But if it's going backwards, it seems mathematically impossible.
The last 3 days, it's dropped. And it is a total number of people in the state of Florida that have been vaccinated representing what percentage of the state. And the overall amount of people in Florida that has been vaccinated over the last 3 days has dropped. And I'm like, so are people getting unvaccinated?
You can't.
I was going to say, I've never heard of an unvaccination.
What, does somebody suck it out like a snake?
Yeah, so who knows? Another story that I was reading out of the Sun Sentinel, they said about more than 2 million people in Florida have been vaccinated is what they're saying. And they said what to look for is decline in hospitalizations and deaths. Those are the two numbers. So maybe I'm going to stop paying attention to how many people are supposedly vaccinated.
No, I want to know how many people have been vaccinated.
I know,
That's
you would think it would
interesting
count.
to me. We've been waiting and waiting for this vaccine. I prayed for it for my grandmother. She got it, and I'm so happy. But there's so many people that still haven't been able to get it that need it. Elderly people,
Yeah.
People with immune compromised situations, I pray for them to get it.
You get vaccinated, snacksavated. If you
Snacksavated.
you get a shot in you, and you can eat whatever you want, no calories. Do you do it?
Yes.
But there's a chance some shit could fuck up in months to come. They don't know.
I'll take a chance.
Really?
You know how much I love eating.
They say your ass could turn into scales like a lizard. You take that chance.
I can wear pants.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
That'd be bad.
I mean, eating without any kind of caloric
That would be an amazing thing.
punishment. I mean, that would be incredible.
You do that, wouldn't you? If you could have that power, would you start eating shitty?
I would have to. I would think about it. I definitely would eat worse.
Okay.
Than I do now.
He would just be worried about like his arteries and stuff. Like he would care about like
overall general health.
plaque in his veins.
You get snackavated, you don't have to worry about that. It helps with the whole thing.
You never have plaque veins. You never have weight gain.
Yeah.
You can just go nuts at the buffet.
I would never eat anything healthy again. I'd
Okay.
probably never touch a vegetable.
Good. I just want to see.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I would probably only eat pizza and ice cream. Candy bars. I would, yeah.
And you get to stay the weight you are.
Yeah.
It would be a drastic, radical change. I would go home and throw away everything in my cupboards.
I mean, would that be the greatest invention of all time?
Yeah.
It'd be pretty
it
awesome.
would. It would be amazing.
Yeah.
Gosh, there gotta be. We can walk on the moon. We can't get snackavated.
We can't get snackavated.
No.
It's
Not
just
gonna happen.
your body's a machine, bruh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think in the future. I'm backing off the subject, but yeah.
Yeah, on the hospitalization front, real quick, the number 5,378, and the peak was 9,500. So that number's been dropping for hospitalizations.
Good.
Yeah, so that's been good. Deaths have been kind of holding steady. Not good. So,
No, we don't like that.
yeah. Got some emails here. This one from Pamela. She said, if the V and Panda story is actually exactly what happened, I can only say that V has lost her mind and that her husband should be extremely upset about this. Now, if you missed the conversation, on Saturday, Virginia found some white fuzzies or some fuzzies on her husband's seatbelt.
His passenger side seatbelt, white sweater fuzz from a puffy female sweater. I know it was a puffy female sweater.
Yeah.
Immediately when I saw it.
And you're like, who is this? And he didn't remember anybody. And it was a big fight for a good 30 minutes.
I mean, Crazy Virginia is amazing content.
Yeah.
I was popping off. I talked to him like I've never spoken to him before because it was making me mad that he couldn't come up with an answer. I'm like, no. I don't know is not an answer. Who the fuck sat in this seat?
Yeah.
That poor son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know is not an answer.
Yeah.
But the motherfucker didn't know.
But he came up with it.
After you, shut up, bird.
She says, you have a suspicion? Okay, that happens. Ask the question and move on. But to call his coworker, how effing disrespectful to embarrass him like this at work.
I didn't call her.
I didn't think so either.
She called me.
Yeah.
Panda texted her and he asked her, wait, do you have a puffy white sweater? Because he was trying to figure out who it was.
Well, the way that-
And then she called me and said, I'm so sorry. I would do the same thing to my husband. I would have been upset too. It was me. I'll even show you the sweater. And she's a very trusted friend.
If you listen to the story, though, to their point, it did sound like you wanted an answer who it was and that you made Panda find out who that answer was.
Yes, that did
Okay,
happen.
all right.
Yes.
So they're right.
He was texting her, but I did not call her.
She said, I am too normal and too not Latin for this. And if I ever did this for any reason, my husband would drop me like a hot potato. She showed zero respect for him. How is he okay with this? But again, did it really go down like this, or is she making it bigger than what it actually was?
No, it went down exactly like I said it is. How dare you insinuate that I could actually be a good actress? This is exactly how it went down, and I just don't play. Maybe you play. I don't fucking play. If I see white sweater fuzz on my husband's passenger side seatbelt and he can't figure out who the fuck it came from, we have a fucking problem.
I mean, I don't know if you want to hear what the chat room says. Metal Beard Dan says, yeah, V, very disrespectful.
No, it's not. Being disrespectful is not being able to tell your wife what bitch was in his car. That's disrespectful.
That's Metal Beard Dan's word.
Fuck him.
Yes, I got it.
It's very interesting. She said non-lying because, I hear this. I mean, I can't even imagine, if that happened with me. I mean, my wife is definitely set tight for all this kind of stuff. But yeah, if there was that situation.
Oh, I know how I handle that.
Oh my gosh.
If somebody came at me like that and I really didn't know, and I am very aloof, there's shit I do not know. I'd be just like Panda. You came full gorilla, Lost Pennington out.
Yeah, and I think a majority of people are like, yeah, I'd be out. Like if you accuse me of that, then I'd be out. Well, blah blah blah.
Obviously not out because you guys are married, but I would not.
Well, ask him. If he wants out, there's the door.
No, not out. I mean, I'd be just like, I'm done with this conversation. Fuck this shit. You're insane.
No, you don't get to be done with this conversation until I get my answer of who the female is that was sitting in your car. There is no done with this conversation. There needs to only be clarity for Virginia.
I hear you. I want to give you my honest.
You sound like Panda sounded in the car.
I want to give you my honest opinion, but I'm having a good day. And I don't want to piss you off. I get why married men surrender.
Somebody texted in and said, I'm just wondering why that lady couldn't ride in her own car to the drugstore.
Oh, this lady is there's no hanky-panky going on. Y'all some paranoid fucks out there.
Yeah, no, there's nothing going on. He was really just doing her a favor. I completely 100% trust her and him in this scenario, and there's no reason to be jealous. But when you get it in your head that he had a girl sitting in the car and then he's trying to say he didn't, or maybe what he kept saying was, well, maybe it was like that when I bought the car. I'm like, no. You bought this car 4 months ago. This is fresh. I'm a detective. I know when this was placed here. And I can tell you by the way it's sticking to the seatbelt. It was within the past 2 weeks. It's fresh.
All I'm saying is I've been accused before of cheating when I was not cheating. Mm-hmm. And if you're not cheating and you've given an honest answer and that person can't let it go and they want, I don't know, they want fuzzy sweater proof. For some people, that would be... I know for me, I would not handle that well.
As soon as I got the fuzzy sweater proof, I immediately said, okay, we're good. I'm sorry I overreacted, but I will always overreact if I think that you're cheating on me and I just found sweater fuzz evidence.
But the people are saying that you've been thinking that Panda was cheating even after the answer. They think you aren't trusting Panda. You don't trust Panda. He told you the truth. He couldn't remember, and then you still grilled him. They're saying that right there proves that you don't trust Panda.
No, that just proves that I don't put my head in the sand like some bitch with evidence right in front of her that she's not going to want answers to. It's not that I didn't trust him. It's that I had evidence there was a female ass sitting in my seat, and I just want to know who it is. As soon as we figured out who it was, I'm fine.
Do you think if you've been cheated on in a serious relationship that you forever carry that baggage with you?
Billy Joel wrote a song about Innocent Man.
Yeah,
I mean, yes.
Because my wife had that before, and I think that she carries with her being cheated on before, and I don't know too, because I always try to listen. Okay, it seems like Latin women are set a little bit more intense.
Sure,
on that.
Sure.
And so that might be part of it. I think she grew up seeing. She always tells me, she's like, my uncles. There was a lot of like they were.
Dirtbags.
Well, they were banging each other's girlfriends. And
yeah.
So I think she grew up, and so she had that, and she doesn't trust hardly anybody when it comes to that kind of stuff. And so I just wonder, as I look at my wife, I'm like, okay, what is it that has gotten her wired to where she is? And
You're
I think
totally shaped by that stuff.
Yeah.
I think you are. You're shaped by your history, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But you also, too, need to realize not everybody is that history. And that takes...
Yeah.
That takes work. Just because you are cheated on by one person or two people doesn't mean everybody cheats.
Yeah. No.
It's not that way.
But when you find what you think is proof of a woman in his car and he can't tell you who it was, you have every right to take it to the next level.
The way I look at it, especially as I've gotten older, if I'm in a relationship and you're cheating on me, just don't ever let me find out. Let ignorance be bliss. You better be better at being a better bullshitter than me. Just don't let me fucking find out.
Yeah.
But if I find out, I turn what we call Virginia.
See?
But that I'm talking about full-on proof. I'm talking about me catching you in the a fuzzy piece of sweater in a car of Panda's does not, for a lot of people, it sounds kind of crazy because it could be a billion different things.
No, I think for most wives, they would be upset. And maybe most wives would internalize it and not bring it up to him, but I'm not that kind of girl. If something is making me mad, I have learned to speak up immediately and figure it out immediately because I care more about my own mental well-being than anybody else's. And if I sit and I fester and I worry about who he's cheating on me with, I'll come up with 15 different scenarios and they'll be all insane and I'll drive myself nutty all day trying to figure out who he's cheating on me with because I just didn't speak up. I'm going to speak up.
What is the standard set when it comes to a female riding in your husband's car? Now, this is somebody that you wound up knowing and you feel fine with, and there's trust.
Total.
But, you know, a situation where there is a hot girl that needs a ride and da-da-da, and you don't know about it. And
even that, you know, I'd be fine with. I don't care about him giving a hot girl a ride. What I cared about was the fact that there was a girl sitting in that seat, and now there was like some secret that he couldn't tell me who it was.
Right.
That's what was making me hot. And then he was saying, well, I don't know, maybe it was Mags. And it was not Mags.
Okay.
And then he was like, well, I don't know, maybe it was like that when I bought the car. And I'm like, no, this is fresh. This is in the last couple of weeks. So that's when I really started to get more and more pissed. It was because it felt like there was something being hidden from me.
yeah.
Like who is it? I just want to know.
I mean, it's National Pizza Day, and I am so glad I'm not married.
This one text says, fuck that. I am with V100 1000%. If that were me, the world would come crashing down until he could tell me who the fuck was in that car.
Right.
I'm not a pushover, and maybe those people that wouldn't be pissed are pushovers. Yes, I am a Latina, 100% Mexicana.
You just... Whatever.
There's spicy white girls too. You got spicy Latin girls, spicy black girls, spicy. It's a personality thing.
But here's the thing, though. In my opinion, we're only seeing this on one side, your feelings about a situation. I'm over here just offering a different point of view. Some people are like myself, Panda being one of them. We don't remember a lot of details about stuff. You ask me a question, I could see the same thing happening to me, giving someone a ride, not remembering, trying to remember, all of it innocent. And it sounds like, from some people, you're just worrying about, fuck that, I was upset, blah, 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 fuck that, I'm going to get down to the bottom of it. Panda did offer up solutions. He couldn't remember, but that wasn't good enough. So we had to now call and call. I'm just saying, sometimes you can't answer a question. It's not because you're hiding anything. You just really can't remember. That is a true thing.
And that's totally what happened, but I was not going to hear it. I needed an answer. I needed to know who sat in that seat, and the day was not going to be able to continue as planned without that information.
Yeah. That's interesting to see just, you know, how people would handle that situation. And there are people that are saying, I would be just like Virginia. There's other people saying that bitch be crazy.
I mean, to your point, Virginia, it does suck to get cheated on.
It does.
And I know you were cheated on in a pretty bad way, especially during a time you shouldn't have been cheated on. And it sucks.
It does
and
suck.
I get why you've got even walls a bit.
Well, when you think it's going on and you like have some sort of nugget of evidence in front of you, like for me, like everything else kind of just gets fuzzy and I can't really see straight. And then I start just thinking the worst case scenario.
So that was my back end of the point. I understand why you feel that way, but Panda has never given you a reason ever to think he was cheating or stepping out on you. That's why the fifth degree was a little probably startling for him.
I mean, if there's a higher than a fifth degree, I gave him that.
That motherfucker ain't gonna even drive by a strip club now. He won't even drive by one. Shit, I wouldn't. Fuck, you're scary.
I just come from this school of I need the answer. And I don't know is not an answer because it's obvious there's an answer.
Right.
What is it?
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know. You don't get your answers in life.
Well,
unfortunately. Well, I know Virginia.
I was getting that answer.
Virginia the Almighty gets her answer.
I was like, go back and look at your Instagram from that day. Who were you with? What were you doing? Who could possibly have been in this car? Like, what was going on? There's always an answer. I want it.
I would so not be able to handle that. I wouldn't. You're telling me that, and I'm sweating right now. And it's not because of the pizza onesie. This thing keeps cool.
Well, here's somebody who is looking for love. Jonathan sent an email, said, I got a date on Saturday during the day, and I don't know where would be a good place to go. She lives in the Pizzle. I live in West Palm. I'm pretty familiar with everything south of me, but not north. We both have a gluten allergy, so that's something to consider. I'm looking for a good place to eat somewhere between us, maybe with a nice view and maybe a cool, cheap activity. And we're trying to be safe with the COVID situation, so nothing too crazy. Also, neither one of us really drink. Any help would be greatly appreciated.
There's a cute little place right by my son's school up in Hobe Sound. They've got some really cute little spots.
Okay.
If you go along US 1, like Hobe Sound, Port Salerno, all along the water there's some really cute little spots.
Okay. There you go. Is there any road or strip or anything like that to check out?
I'm looking right now. So on Dixie Highway in Hobe Sound, there's a cute little wine bar and restaurant right along that stretch that's adorable. And they have completely changed up their dining to be outdoor dining.
Okay. And if you don't drink, it would be a good, suitable place to go?
Oh, yeah. It's a full-on restaurant, too.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, there you go.
What's the place that we went to? I forget the name of it. It had really good cheese sauce. You took me there. I believe you took me with Panda.
What town?
I think it was West Palm. I wonder if it's the same place. I remember I had all that food. I had 2 restaurants of food with me.
You brought food from another restaurant?
I did. I brought it from another restaurant because,
What area in West Palm?
Like the West Palm, like, by the
It's a big town, Bert.
tall buildings.
Downtown?
Yeah, a little off. Downtown, sort of.
Like Northwood?
Yeah, that area. You took me to a place. This is not good radio. I'm backing out.
There's several cute places in Northwood, but that might be a little south for them. I think they need to look in Hobe Sound area.
Somebody said Sailor's Return is a nice place in Stewart.
Okay.
That's pretty much one of the big in-betweens right there.
Something Bar and Grill. I know.
Are you kidding right now?
I know that's it.
Something Bar and Grill, he said.
And West Palm, can you Google this?
Jen T said, I'm listening to the show from 2/4/21, and Jaybird is talking about a bit where he had to get his belly button pierced for a sound clip, which is really kind of bizarre to start with.
Mystery sound.
He said it got pushed aside due to some other news. It got infected and was expensive, a terrible bit. I just had to say that one of the best things about the bird is that no matter how terrible something gets, he brushes it off and laughs about it. All of you are pretty great about when things go wrong. There is something very special about people that can laugh at themselves when things go awry. Oh, and F that industry coach email guy. We love hearing birthdays. We love sending them in, and we love the format of the KVJ show. Keep on keeping on.
You got to get prepared for the next shitty bit. So you got to dust yourself off.
Yes.
There's so much more shit to do.
We got more where that came from.
The next fuck up I do. Wooden Stash Dave, Dixie Bar and Grill. You took me there.
Dixie Bar and Grill.
And they've got good cheese sauce and honey mustard.
They have the best cheese sauce. They do the pretzels.
Yes.
The soft pretzels that you dip.
Yeah.
And the last time I went there, I paired their onion strings
with
the cheese sauce.
You've talked about them before, too.
Yeah.
They're good. They carried our beer.
Yeah.
Back when we had KVJ beers, they carried all of them. They are delightful people.
They know craft beer. It's really quaint. They've got all kinds of cool things hanging on the ceiling. Yeah, every time my son would go to baseball practice at Phipps Park, we would go over there. So we were regulars there for a while when he's playing baseball.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
Cozy.
It is.
Thank you for helping us out, chat room.
Yes, that's Wooden Stash Dave. Very knowledgeable.
Larry in the Pizzle had said, here, what's up, guys? I was listening to a segment the other day when Jaber was talking about his weak-ass grip, his WAG.
I got a bad wag.
He can't even open peanut butter, y'all. It's sad.
I kept barely opening my door.
Damn.
I gotta lean my body into it and get my wag pushing.
We gotta get you handicap doors.
I don't know.
I was wondering if we
Damn.
can change it to bag, bitch ass grip.
I think I got a bag as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so he prefers bag.
I like
bitch ass
bag.
grip.
Bag is fun.
Okay.
I do got a bitch ass grip. It's weird. It's getting worse too. I think I'm just getting old.
I think so.
All right, you don't have to fucking agree with this.
I think so. Greg in the 772 said, I just wanted to update Jerby's whiskey bourbon journey. What has he tried and what new stuff does he like and dislike? And when I wrote in before, I suggested some Jack Daniel's single barrel, not regular Jack number 7. That stuff is nasty, but single barrel and Gentleman Jack are outstanding.
I wrote it down. I just have not. Virginia brought me all that liquor, and I'm just now kind of. I think, did you buy me something that you put into alcohol as well?
I did. I bought you
Okay.
Aperol Spritz ingredients.
I was wondering why I wasn't getting a buzz on that.
There's alcohol in
Is
Aperol.
there?
Yeah,
It must
yeah,
be
yeah.
low then.
Yeah.
Okay.
You usually put it in like champagne, and make an Aperol Spritz out of it.
It's fancy.
It's Italian, so I bought it for you because it was Italian, and you're Italian, even though you're a bitch ass Italian.
And I didn't even know it was Italian.
And he also included on the back here, this is a great action figure. It's guy wearing a wolf shirt. As an action figure, you can see that. He's in the package there. It's a guy that's in some jean shorts. He's got a wolf on his shirt.
I showed up for a blind date with Guy wearing a wolf shirt.
Wait, hold on. Did he make that for Virginia?
I don't
Or
know.
is that-
I think it's something you can get.
I think it's a real thing.
It says contents, one rad fucking dude in a baller shirt is what it is.
That's your guy.
That's my guy. I showed up for a blind date with that guy that I met on Match.com.
I love the idea of oddball action figures, though, because they always make them like they're, superheroes and they can kick people's asses. But I would like to have action figures of like Ponytail Guy or Snake Around the Neck Guy or
Ponytail Guy loves a wolf shirt.
Face Tag Guy. All these
Snake
just
guy.
weird, yeah.
Jean shorts, shirtless with the snake around.
Right. All these weird dudes. That would be a great action figure line. I would
don't
get
hate
those.
it. Yeah.
In fact, maybe we need to work on that. What kind of action figures should we come up with?
I love it. To go back to your date real quick, you were on a dating site. You sized pictures?
I did, but they weren't good. They were like grainy.
Did you go out on that date because you were kind of lonely and you're trying to make something happen?
Yeah. I was living in Mississippi, and so there's not a lot of action in Mississippi. And so I told this guy on the website, let's meet up in New Orleans, which is like an hour drive away. I said, you got to get a hotel room for me and my best friend, though. And so
Okay.
he did. He got us a hotel room. And I went to go meet him in the hotel restaurant for our dinner.
Okay.
And he walked up wearing the sweetest frickin' wolf shirt.
And you're lying.
And it was awful. And he had so much like upper back, lower neck hair protruding. And that's a big thing for me. I can't stand back of the neck hair when it's all bushy like that.
Did he have legit back hair that was growing out like a wolf?
I think he was just furry. And it was on his neck. It was on his upper shoulder.
Oh, he totally thought because he got that hotel room that you were going to be oiling up that hairy body of his.
I faked a stomach cramp right around time of dessert. And I went up to my room.
Virginia said she had the shits.
I was
You
willing
don't
to
care
do
about somebody
anything.
when you tell them that.
You're trying to gross him out so he doesn't bother you again.
And then, so what happened was so we called it a night, and he was very sad that we weren't going to take it out onto the Bourbon Street and go party all night with him. So I went up to the room and got my friend, and I'm like, come on, let's go party on Bourbon Street, just the two of us, me and my girlfriend. And we're out in the club, and I had used a fake name on the website because I didn't want to use my real name. And so we're out in the club, and he's yelling the fake name, and I don't hear it because it's not my name. And then he walks up to me, and he goes, I thought you had stomach cramps.
Damn. You broke his wolf heart. You broke his wolf
Oh,
Damn it,
I
man.
felt bad.
Oh, he was out there wolfing it up, trying to make it happen
yeah, he
after you
was.
dumped his ass. What a shitty trip for him.
Awful
That's
for
cold.
him. It was awful.
That is cold. All right, well, there we go. Thank you for locking in today. Back at you tomorrow. Enjoy your Tuesday. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.